Blood pressure. Which number is actually dangerous? Systolic versus diastolic. Have you ever stared at your blood pressure monitor, utterly confused about which number truly matters? You're not alone. Many have been dangerously misled, told their blood pressure is okay for their age, a reassurance that could be putting your life at silent risk. One of those critical numbers harbors a far greater danger than most realize, especially as you pass 60. Focusing on the wrong one has quietly imperiled millions of seniors. This video will shatter that misconception forever. By the end, you'll understand exactly which blood pressure reading is the true threat for older adults, why its significance skyrockets with age, and how countless individuals are falsely comforted by normal numbers while devastating silent damage already unfolds. This isn't about fear. It's about life-saving precision. Knowing this can protect your heart, brain, and future independence. You won't want to miss the final habit, or 99% will miss the last tip, and will be stuck with unchecked health decline and compromised longevity for life. For decades, countless older adults followed instructions. They checked their blood pressure, took their medications, and adhered to every rule. Yet, tragically, many still suffered devastating strokes, debilitating heart failure, irreversible kidney damage, or sudden life-altering collapses. When the medical community looked closer, the heartbreaking discovery wasn't that these individuals ignored their blood pressure. No, the tragic flaw was that they were meticulously monitoring the wrong number, and absolutely no one had explained the profound life-or-death implications of this oversight. This isn't just a mistake, it's a silent epidemic that steals futures. Before we delve deeper into this critical revelation, take a moment to reflect. When you check your blood pressure at home, which number instinctively captures more of your attention, the top or the bottom? Most people, almost universally, gravitate towards the bottom number, often believing it represents their resting pressure. And for younger adults, this focus might indeed be appropriate. But here's the stark, uncomfortable truth. The rules of blood pressure fundamentally change with age. What was once a reliable indicator in your youth becomes a dangerous distraction in your senior years, masking a far more insidious threat that you absolutely must understand to safeguard your health. Consider Harold, a vibrant 73-year-old who lived an active life and was incredibly diligent about his health. Every single morning, without fail, he meticulously checked his blood pressure. He would beam with pride, declaring, "My bottom number is perfect." His diastolic pressure remained squarely within the normal range for years, a testament to his discipline. However, Harold was unknowingly caught in a perilous trap. His systolic pressure, the crucial top number, was steadily, insidiously creeping upwards, 140, then meshed 45, then 150. Each time, he received reassuring nods, told it was just what happens with age. This dangerous complacency continued until one devastating morning when Harold collapsed from a massive stroke that absolutely no one, not even Harold himself, saw coming. His perfect bottom number had betrayed him, leaving him vulnerable to a catastrophe he could have prevented. Here's the uncomfortable, yet essential truth you must grasp immediately. Blood pressure isn't just two isolated numbers. It's an intricate, dynamic story unfolding about the very real, physical aging process of your heart and, more importantly, your blood vessels. And one of those numbers reveals that story with chilling clarity, far more accurately than the other, especially in the later chapters of life. Ignoring this distinction is like ignoring a ticking time bomb in your body, believing everything is fine simply because one dial appears stable. This is a crucial pivot point in understanding your longevity and avoiding a potentially devastating health crisis that could change everything overnight. When you measure your blood pressure, the top number is known as systolic pressure. This vital reading quantifies the powerful force of blood surging against your artery walls precisely when your heart contracts, pushing oxygen-rich blood throughout your body. The bottom number is diastolic pressure. It measures the sustained pressure within your arteries when your heart relaxes and refills with blood between beats. For many decades, both readings were considered equally significant, creating a widespread misconception that has placed countless seniors at risk. However, extensive, long-term studies tracking thousands of individuals over decades have definitively revealed that this balance dramatically shifts with age. This fundamental change is the key to unlocking the true danger hiding in your numbers. In younger adults, elevated diastolic pressure has a strong and clear link to heart disease risk. But as we age, a natural yet perilous process occurs. Our arteries gradually, almost imperceptibly, lose their youthful elasticity. They stiffen. Imagine a flexible garden hose slowly turning into a rigid pipe. When this happens, systolic pressure begins its stealthy ascent, often reaching dangerous levels, while paradoxically, diastolic pressure frequently remains stable or can even decrease. This insidious condition is precisely what doctors call isolated systolic hypertension, and it's frighteningly prevalent in the senior population. It's a ticking time bomb most people don't even know they have. Here is the absolute critical piece of information that millions of people tragically miss. Dangerously elevated systolic pressure is, unequivocally, one of the most powerful and accurate predictors of catastrophic health events in older adults. We're talking about devastating strokes, crippling heart failure, and premature cardiovascular death. This single number often holds more predictive power than high diastolic pressure, and in many cases, even more than cholesterol levels. Yet despite its undeniable importance, it's frequently minimized, dismissed, or simply attributed to normal aging by well-meaning but misinformed individuals. This complacency is a direct highway to medical disaster, and you deserve to know the truth now, before it's too late. Why does this silent, deadly shift occur? The answer lies in the aging of your arterial system. Stiffened arteries simply cannot absorb the immense force of each powerful heartbeat in the flexible, cushioning way they once did. When your heart pumps, that pressure spike becomes intensely higher and travels with far greater, more damaging force throughout your entire circulatory system. This unchecked, excessive pressure relentlessly assaults the delicate, fragile blood vessels in your brain, your kidneys, your eyes, and even the heart itself. Over countless years, this damage accumulates quietly, insidiously, often without a single symptom. This profound lack of early warning is precisely why high blood pressure has earned its terrifying moniker, the silent killer. It doesn't fail with dramatic alarms, it fails slowly, secretly, until suddenly it's too late. And alarmingly, systolic pressure is almost always the first, most crucial warning sign, whispering a danger you absolutely cannot afford to ignore. Now here's a crucial question I need you to ponder, an open loop designed to uncover a deeper truth. If dangerously high systolic pressure poses such a monumental threat to seniors, why are so many people consistently told their blood pressure is perfectly fine? The shocking answer lies in a widespread misunderstanding of what normal truly signifies at different stages of life. Many seniors are reassuringly told that a systolic pressure of 140 or even 150 mmHg is entirely acceptable for your age. But decades of rigorous research have consistently, unequivocally, proven that sustained systolic readings above 140 mmHg dramatically escalate the risk of stroke and heart disease. Above 150, the risk spirals sharply upward, becoming a dire emergency. And beyond 160, the danger accelerates at an alarming, almost terrifying pace. This false comfort is a direct path to preventable illness and shortened lifespan. But wait, there's another insidious trap you must be aware of. While high systolic pressure is a clear enemy, aggressively lowering all blood pressure numbers can also cause significant harm, especially if your diastolic pressure plunges too low. If your diastolic pressure falls below approximately 60 mmHg, your heart itself, the very engine of your body, may not receive enough vital blood flow. This critical deficit can manifest as debilitating dizziness, crushing fatigue, mental confusion that steals your sharpness, and a dramatically increased risk of dangerous falls. In the most severe cases, this overcorrection can even paradoxically worsen heart outcomes, sabotaging your health in an attempt to improve it. This is a precarious balancing act that demands informed precision, not blind adherence to outdated guidelines. Don't let this happen to you. So, we find ourselves caught in a dangerous, often unrecognized balancing act. Unchecked high systolic pressure silently ravages your organs, while an overly low diastolic pressure starves your most vital muscle, your heart. Millions of seniors are trapped in this perilous middle ground, completely unaware of the precise mechanisms at play, with no one adequately explaining the profound, life-altering risks they face. This hidden crisis leads us directly to an incredibly important concept, one that is almost never discussed outside specialized medical circles, yet holds the key to your arterial health: pulse pressure. You need to understand this now. Pulse pressure is simply the difference between your systolic and diastolic numbers. For example, if your blood pressure reading is 150/70, your pulse pressure is a stark 80. A wide pulse pressure, meaning a large difference between the two numbers, is an undeniable, flashing red warning sign of stiff, inflexible arteries and a significantly heightened cardiovascular risk. Shockingly, countless seniors walk around with a dangerously wide pulse pressure, completely oblivious to its grave implications because they are never told to even consider it. This is precisely why someone with a blood pressure of 150/70, which might seem only moderately high to some, could actually be at a far greater, more immediate risk than someone with a reading of 140/90. The second reading, looks worse at first glance, but the first starkly reflects profound arterial stiffness and a dangerously high systolic load, a combination that is particularly lethal for older adults. This single measurement could be the key to understanding your true risk. Here's where the confusion and the danger deepen exponentially. Some individuals, in a desperate attempt to lower their high systolic pressure, begin medications that, while effective for the top number, inadvertently drive their diastolic pressure far too low. They start to experience debilitating lightheadedness, crushing weakness, and a constant feeling of unsteadiness. Many assume these uncomfortable symptoms are simply part of aging, accepting them as an inevitable decline. But in reality, their blood pressure is being dangerously overcorrected in the wrong direction, creating new, avoidable health crises. This is why a universal, one-size-fits-all approach to blood pressure treatment for seniors is not just ineffective, it can be actively harmful. Numbers on paper are important, yes, but how you feel, your actual physical well-being, matters immensely, perhaps even more. Your body is sending you vital signals you must learn to decipher. Let me pose another critical question that might unlock a hidden truth about your own experience. Have you ever suddenly felt lightheaded or dizzy when you stood up too quickly? Or experienced an unusual debilitating fatigue that appeared shortly after a medication change? These are not trivial symptoms to dismiss. These can be crucial, urgent warning signs that your diastolic pressure has plummeted dangerously low, even if your systolic number appears to have improved on paper. Ignoring these signals is playing a dangerous game with your heart and brain health. Listen to your body. It's trying to tell you something vitally important before a serious incident occurs. Now, let's return to the absolute core question that underpins your health and longevity. Which blood pressure number is truly the most dangerous? For the vast majority of seniors, sustained, dangerously high systolic pressure stands as the primary, most insidious threat. It aggressively increases your risk of catastrophic stroke, debilitating heart failure, progressive kidney disease, irreversible vision loss, and alarming cognitive decline. While diastolic pressure certainly still matters, its crucial role fundamentally transforms with age. The ultimate goal isn't to futilely chase the blood pressure numbers of your youth, a pursuit that can be both unrealistic and hazardous. Instead, the real objective is to meticulously protect your vital organs and diligently maintain cardiovascular stability, ensuring a future free from preventable complications. Here's another critical insight, an open loop that reveals a widespread paradox. If systolic pressure is truly the main danger, why do many common lifestyle adjustments primarily lower the bottom number, yet barely impact the more critical top number? And what specific evidence-backed strategies genuinely help to reduce systolic pressure without causing debilitating weakness or alarming dizziness? This is precisely what we will uncover next, because understanding the danger is only the first step. You need to know exactly what to do about it. In the upcoming sections, I'm going to reveal why systolic pressure often continues its stealthy rise, even when you genuinely feel perfectly fine, what concrete actions demonstrably improve arterial flexibility and turn back the clock on vascular aging, which precise lifestyle changes are powerfully backed by cutting-edge research, and why certain blood pressure medications are a lifeline for seniors, while others can quietly, insidiously cause profound harm. Don't risk your future by remaining uninformed. Before we move on to these actionable, life-altering strategies, I implore you to engrave this vital truth into your memory. Blood pressure problems rarely, if ever, announce their presence with pain or dramatic warnings. They are silent, relentless, and often imperceptible until it's tragically too late. The number that most people instinctively ignore, or are wrongly taught to minimize, is almost always the very one that matters the most for your long-term health and survival. This oversight is a direct path to preventable suffering, and you now have the power to avoid it. Your future quality of life hinges on this understanding. Now let's pivot to what truly helps, because understanding which number poses the greatest danger is absolutely worthless without knowing the precise, actionable steps you can take to mitigate that risk. This is where countless seniors find themselves trapped in a frustrating, disheartening cycle. They're diagnosed with high blood pressure, prescribed medication, and yet they still don't feel quite right. Or perhaps the numbers on paper miraculously improve, but then a new wave of debilitating dizziness, crushing fatigue, or alarming weakness sets in. This isn't success. This is a dangerous imbalance, a trade-off that compromises your quality of life. You deserve genuine, holistic solutions that work with your body, not against it, giving you both optimal numbers and vibrant well-being. The first foundational truth you must internalize is this: systolic pressure and diastolic pressure behave in fundamentally different ways, and therefore, they respond effectively to entirely different strategies. Attempting to lower both numbers using a blanket, identical approach often creates more problems than it solves, particularly as you navigate the complexities of aging. A strategy that works for one number can inadvertently sabotage the other, leading to frustrating side effects and a false sense of security. Precision, not generic advice, is your most powerful ally in this battle for your heart health. Ignoring these distinctions is a recipe for long-term health struggles. Systolic pressure is driven predominantly by a single, critical factor: arterial stiffness. As your arteries inevitably age, they gradually, imperceptibly lose their youthful elasticity. They no longer possess the pliant, cushioning ability to expand easily and absorb the forceful surge of blood with each powerful heartbeat. This structural change causes pressure to spike dangerously higher every time your heart contracts and pumps. This physiological reality also profoundly explains something many seniors find utterly bewildering. You can genuinely feel perfectly fine, bursting with energy and vitality, yet still harbor dangerously high systolic pressure. There may be absolutely no discernible warning signs, no pain, no symptoms whatsoever. This is precisely why relying solely on how you feel can be a tragically misleading, even fatal strategy when it comes to safeguarding your cardiovascular health. Your body can be silently betraying you, and you must know how to spot the invisible enemy. One of the most profoundly effective, yet often overlooked ways to positively influence and reduce systolic pressure is through a dedicated focus on dramatically improving your vascular flexibility. This isn't some complex medical procedure. It's about simple, impactful daily habits. It means actively working to reduce systemic inflammation, which stiffens blood vessels, boosting robust circulation throughout your entire body, and critically, lowering the chronic excessive strain that relentlessly grinds away at your arterial walls. This is precisely where lifestyle interventions emerge as an extraordinarily powerful force, often holding far more sway over your systolic numbers than many people ever truly realize. You have the power to reverse some of this damage, starting today. Let's begin with the transformative power of movement. You absolutely do not need to engage in intense, grueling exercise to significantly benefit your systolic pressure. In fact, overly strenuous, high-impact activity can sometimes temporarily and counterproductively elevate it. What scientific research consistently, unequivocally demonstrates is that regular, moderate movement, especially the simple, accessible act of walking, can dramatically improve arterial elasticity over time. Even a consistent routine of just 20 to 30 minutes of brisk walking on most days of the week can effectively lower systolic pressure without the dangerous side effect of pushing your diastolic pressure too low. Walking also profoundly improves insulin sensitivity, powerfully reduces inflammation throughout your body, and enhances overall blood vessel function, all direct, potent factors in controlling systolic pressure. The undeniable key here is unwavering consistency, not punishing intensity. Start small, stay consistent, and watch your vascular health transform. Now, let's bravely tackle one of the most polarizing and misunderstood topics in the entire realm of blood pressure management: salt. Some seniors are given extreme blanket advice to eliminate salt from their diet entirely, a strategy that can be both impractical and harmful. Others are carelessly told it doesn't matter at all, which is equally dangerous. The precise, nuanced truth, as is often the case, lies somewhere wisely in between. For individuals who are genuinely salt-sensitive, consuming excess sodium can indeed elevate systolic pressure significantly. However, for many older adults, an overly aggressive restriction of salt can trigger its own set of perilous problems: dangerously low blood volume, debilitating dizziness, overwhelming weakness, and an unacceptably low diastolic pressure. This risk is exponentially higher for those taking certain blood pressure medications. The goal is never zero salt. The truly vital objective is impeccable balance. Whole, unprocessed foods containing naturally occurring sodium behave fundamentally differently in your body than highly processed foods loaded with refined artificial salt. Prioritizing the reduction of processed foods while rigorously maintaining adequate hydration is often a far more profoundly effective and safer strategy than extreme, misguided salt restriction. Make the smart choice for your heart, not the extreme one. Hydration itself is another tragically overlooked yet profoundly impactful factor in managing your blood pressure. Many seniors, understandably, intentionally limit their fluid intake in a misguided attempt to minimize disruptive nighttime bathroom trips. This seemingly innocent habit, however, carries a hidden, dangerous cost. Chronic dehydration thickens your blood, making it more viscous and difficult to pump. This in turn dramatically increases vascular resistance, which can dangerously elevate your systolic pressure. Conversely, maintaining consistently adequate hydration ensures your blood flows far more smoothly and efficiently through your naturally stiffening arteries, effectively reducing those dangerous pressure spikes. Don't let a fear of nighttime discomfort compromise your lifelong cardiovascular health. Proper hydration is a simple, powerful tool you must leverage immediately. Chronic unmanaged stress is another potent yet often underestimated driver of dangerously high systolic pressure. When you experience chronic stress, your body's ancient fight-or-flight response is repeatedly triggered, unleashing a torrent of adrenaline into your bloodstream. This surge causes your heart rate to skyrocket and your blood vessels to constrict aggressively. Over extended periods, this relentless physiological assault keeps your systolic pressure dangerously elevated, even when you're ostensibly at rest. This scientific truth provides a profound explanation for why simple, consistent relaxation techniques, mindful, deep breathing exercises, and significantly improved sleep quality can often lower systolic pressure more effectively and with fewer side effects than many medication adjustments. Don't underestimate the power of your mind to heal your body and protect your heart. Stress reduction isn't a luxury, it's a non-negotiable component of optimal blood pressure management and overall well-being. Now, let's confront the reality of medications with complete honesty and meticulous care. Blood pressure medications are, without a shadow of a doubt, indispensable and life-saving tools for countless individuals. However, it is an undeniable truth that not all medications function in the exact same way, and crucially, not all are ideally suited for every senior. Some medications excel at lowering systolic pressure effectively while carefully preserving diastolic pressure within a healthy range. Others, however, lower both numbers, sometimes far too aggressively, creating a new set of risks. A critically common issue observed in older adults is the dangerous overlowering of diastolic pressure. When this vital number plunges too low, the coronary arteries, those delicate, crucial vessels that supply the heart muscle itself with life-sustaining blood flow, may not receive adequate nourishment. This can lead to debilitating fatigue, uncomfortable chest discomfort, or even a worsening of underlying heart function, even as your systolic numbers superficially appear to improve. This is a trade-off you absolutely cannot afford to make. Your symptoms are not mere annoyances, they are urgent messages from your body. This brings us to a foundational truth. Your symptoms matter profoundly. If your blood pressure treatment, while seemingly improving your numbers, leaves you feeling perpetually dizzy, alarmingly lightheaded, when you stand up unusually and constantly tired, or mentally foggy to the point of impaired clarity, These are not normal, inevitable side effects to simply ignore or push through. These are potentially critical warning signs, loud and clear, that your blood pressure is being lowered in an incorrect or imbalanced way, potentially jeopardizing other aspects of your health. Your quality of life is not a statistic. It's your daily reality, and you must advocate for it. Always communicate these vital symptoms to your healthcare provider, demanding a reassessment of your treatment plan. Your well-being should never be sacrificed for a number on a chart. This brings us directly to the paramount importance of meticulous monitoring and the truly correct way blood pressure should be tracked for optimal senior health. Single readings taken in a bustling clinic environment are, more often than not, profoundly misleading. The inherent stress of a doctor's visit, known as white coat hypertension, the time of day, and your recent activity levels all exert a significant influence on your blood pressure. Far superior and infinitely more revealing are consistent home readings, taken correctly and at the same times each day. These provide a much clearer, more accurate, and more actionable picture of your actual cardiovascular health trends. Don't rely on snapshot moments when your life depends on a continuous narrative. Morning readings, in particular, hold immense significance and demand your utmost attention. Elevated systolic pressure during the crucial morning hours is robustly and consistently linked to a dramatically increased risk of stroke. If your systolic pressure habitually spikes in the morning and then gradually lowers later in the day, do not be fooled into thinking this is inconsequential. Those morning surges of pressure place an enormous, often silent strain on your delicate brain and heart, especially during a time when your blood vessels are often least protected. This knowledge empowers you to understand when your body is most vulnerable and to discuss targeted strategies with your healthcare provider to mitigate these crucial morning risks. This could be a game changer for your stroke prevention strategy. Another concept of profound importance is understanding notch trends, not obsessing over single, isolated numbers. An insidious, slow upward creep in your systolic pressure, observed over a period of months or even years, is far, far more concerning and indicative of underlying danger than a single, occasional high reading. That gradual, relentless rise in your top number unequivocally reflects progressive arterial stiffness, a silent deterioration of your vascular system. By monitoring trends, you gain a powerful early warning system, allowing you to intervene proactively and prevent serious complications before they become irreversible. This is truly where long-term vigilance pays off in dividends for your health and longevity, offering you control over your future. Now, let's circle back to the incredibly vital concept of pulse pressure, because this singular measurement powerfully ties everything we've discussed together into a cohesive, actionable understanding of your vascular health. A consistently widening gap between your systolic and diastolic pressure is an unmistakable, urgent indicator that your arteries are relentlessly losing their crucial elasticity and growing stiffer. Extensive, irrefutable research has demonstrated that a wide pulse pressure is directly associated with a significantly higher risk of debilitating stroke, crippling heart failure, and alarming cognitive decline in older adults. Yet, despite its profound predictive power, most people are tragically never even told to look at it, let alone understand its implications. For instance, a blood pressure reading of 160/70 results in a pulse pressure of 90, an undeniable screaming red flag of arterial danger. Even if the bottom number appears good, the sheer damaging stress being inflicted upon your arteries is catastrophic. This is precisely why any effective treatment plan must aim to gently, carefully reduce systolic pressure without, under any circumstances, collapsing the diastolic pressure. Achieving that delicate, informed balance is the ultimate life-saving goal for senior blood pressure management. This is the difference between thriving and merely surviving. Here's something profoundly empowering that offers genuine hope and a pathway forward. Small, consistent, and steady changes in your daily habits often produce truly meaningful, even dramatic improvements in your blood pressure over time. Don't be fooled into thinking you need radical overhauls. Prioritizing better, more restorative sleep, committing to daily moderate walking, consistently improving the nutritional quality of your diet, Actively reducing chronic stress through mindful practices and ensuring proper, consistent hydration all work synergistically to collectively reduce systolic pressure. None of these individual changes are dramatic or overwhelming on their own, but when combined and consistently applied, they can powerfully shift your cardiovascular risk profile in a profoundly positive direction, safeguarding your future and dramatically enhancing your longevity. This is about making sustainable, impactful choices for lasting health. Another incredibly important, yet frequently overlooked factor in blood pressure management is your weight distribution, specifically where your body tends to store fat. Central abdominal fat, the stubborn fat that accumulates around your waistline, is far more insidious than subcutaneous fat. It is metabolically active and directly contributes to increased arterial stiffness, which, as we've established, is a primary driver of high systolic pressure. Even modest, achievable reductions in your waist circumference, losing just a few inches around your middle, can remarkably improve blood vessel function and significantly lower your systolic numbers. This is a powerful, tangible goal that directly impacts your heart health, offering another vital avenue for intervention and self-empowerment. Don't ignore this critical area of your health journey. Alcohol consumption also deserves serious, honest mention in the context of blood pressure. While moderate intake might be acceptable for some, excessive alcohol consumption is a direct culprit in raising systolic pressure. Furthermore, it notoriously disrupts the quality and restorative nature of your sleep, creating a vicious cycle that further impacts cardiovascular health. For many individuals, simply reducing their alcohol intake to healthy moderation, or even eliminating it entirely, can lead to noticeable and significant reductions in systolic pressure within a matter of weeks. This is a quick win for your heart and overall well-being, offering tangible benefits without complex interventions. Consider this a powerful lever for immediate improvement. At this pivotal point, I want to directly address a deeply held fear that paralyzes many seniors. If my systolic pressure is already high, does that mean the damage is already done and it's too late to reverse course? The answer, emphatically, is not necessarily. This is a message of hope and empowerment. While arterial stiffness undeniably increases with age, it is absolutely not a completely irreversible process. Your blood vessels retain a remarkable, inherent capacity to adapt and even partially heal, even in later stages of life. Slowing the progression of stiffness matters immensely. Stabilizing your numbers matters profoundly. And most critically, preventing any further irreparable damage matters above all else. This is precisely why blood pressure control is not about achieving a singular, perfect reading once and then forgetting about it. It is about a lifelong commitment to maintaining stability, consistency, and vigilant care over time, ensuring a healthier, more independent future. Your actions today directly impact your tomorrow. Now, let's bring all these vital insights together, forming a comprehensive and actionable understanding that empowers you. For the vast majority of seniors, the top number, your systolic pressure, stands as the primary, most critical danger and the key indicator of future risk. While the bottom number, your diastolic pressure, still holds importance, it must not, under any circumstances, be forced dangerously low. The difference. Between these two numbers, your pulse pressure narrates an incredibly important, untold story about the elasticity and health of your arteries. Crucially, your symptoms, how you genuinely feel, matter just as much, if not more, than the raw numbers on your monitor. Blood pressure isn't a mere report card of past performance. It's a dynamic, ongoing communication tool. It's your body's way of constantly telling you precisely how your invaluable heart and arteries are bravely coping with the relentless march of time and the natural process of aging. This communication is a gift you must learn to interpret. Let me be absolutely crystal clear on a non-negotiable point. You should never, under any circumstances, unilaterally stop or significantly change any medication regimen without the explicit professional guidance of your trusted medical doctor. That would be reckless. However, what you should absolutely unequivocally do is understand with profound clarity what your numbers truly signify for your unique health profile. Informed patients are demonstrably empowered patients, and empowered patients consistently achieve superior health outcomes. Period. This newfound understanding can also powerfully dispel unnecessary anxiety and fear. Many seniors needlessly panic over slightly elevated diastolic numbers, which may be less critical, while tragically overlooking or ignoring a dangerously rising systolic pressure, which is the real threat. Conversely, others celebrate what they perceive as normal overall readings, completely unaware that silent, insidious arterial stiffness is stealthily progressing beneath the surface. Knowledge, and only knowledge, corrects both of these perilous mistakes, giving you the clarity and confidence to act wisely. Don't be a victim of ignorance. Be a champion of your own health. We have covered an immense amount of critically important ground today. So, let me leave you with the single most important takeaway, a truth that could redefine your future. The true danger of blood pressure in seniors is not about a futile, often hazardous quest to reclaim the numbers of your youth. It is about a far more profound and achievable mission, rigorously protecting your magnificent brain from cognitive decline, safeguarding your powerful heart from failure, and fiercely defending your precious independence from sudden, catastrophic health events. It's about proactively preventing debilitating strokes, avoiding dangerous falls that steal mobility, and circumventing sudden, life-altering incidents that can irrevocably change your world and the world of those you love overnight. This is not just information, it's a blueprint for a longer, healthier, and more vibrant life. Subscribe. Which advice will you start applying today?